Hey guys, welcome to another KeyForge video, and in this video we will be looking at KeyForge anomalies. So what are KeyForge anomalies? They originated in Worlds Collide, and they're these really cool cards that have kind of like this lightning around them, and they look really cool, and they can be a part of any house. And they were supposed to be a part of new sets as they came out, but they couldn't do this because of the fact that they had to shut down production when COVID hit. So in a way, they're kind of like legacies, which are cards that were in previous sets, but instead for sets to come. So first off, we have this card called Ghost Form, and it reads, this creature gains invulnerable, and it says, this creature gains fight reap, archive ghost form. This card is not an amazing card, and I think it's probably one of my least favorite of the anomalies, but it's still pretty cool, and I love all these artworks. But you do get a bonus ember, and it is an upgrade, so you can put it on any card you want. So it could work. One specifically good thing I see about this card is the fact that it cannot be destroyed or dealt damage, whatever card you put this on. And that part can be helpful if it has a rule that you really want to keep out there, such as one of the laws or something like that. Moving on to our second one, we have Infomancer. And it has elusive and says play, graft an action card from your hand onto Infomancer. And it has reap, trigger the play effect of an action card grafted onto Infomancer. And this card is pretty cool. However, I believe that there's a better anomaly coming up that is much better, and it's because it's an artifact. And just because this one is a creature, I feel like it's not as good because of the fact that it can get destroyed pretty fast. Moving on to, in my opinion, some of the cooler ones, we have Lateral Shift, and it reads, play, look at your opponent's hand, play a card from that hand as if it was yours. So this card I actually really like, especially since it can get you out of some pretty sticky situations. And there's not much to say about this card. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, and you can pull off some pretty neat stuff, especially if you know what's in your opponent's hand. Moving on to what was my first anomaly, Memolith, and it's an artifact that reads action. Graft an action card from your hand onto Memolith, or trigger the play effect of an action card grafted onto Memolith. This card, I can faithfully say that I really enjoy this card, especially because I have a deck with it that has some pretty cool action cards. So if you get the right card under Memolith, then you can continuously do that action over and over again. So I really think this is just an upgraded card from the creature that I mentioned earlier, because it's the same thing, just an artifact, which is a whole lot harder to destroy. Moving on, we have another cool card, Nizak the Forgotten. And this is a cool card. I especially like this artwork. It's absolutely amazing. And it reads, while fighting, Nizak the Forgotten gains invulnerable. And it reads, after an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Nizak the Forgotten, return that creature to its owner's hand. So this is a really cool creature, especially since it's basically a free 6 damage off on your opponent every single time. And yes, I do know that it just goes back to the hand, but still, if you have some cards in your opponent's battle line that don't have anything special on their like play abilities, then I think this can be really, really helpful. Now, I only have 2 anomalies, so I don't know for sure, and this is not one of them that I have, so I can't be certain. But if you guys have this card, let me know if you enjoy it, and if so, what kind of cool stuff can you do with it. Moving on to the second anomaly that I have, the Grim Reaper. It reads, if you are haunted, the Grim Reaper enters play ready. Reap, purge an enemy creature and a friendly creature. Now, this is definitely an interesting card because haunted basically means that there are 10 or more cards in your discard pile. And this can be helpful, but it's also kind of a confusing card. This is also one of those anomalies where I think it's kind of on the lower end of the spectrum because it's not as helpful, especially if you don't have cards that you're willing to purge. Like in my deck, I have a lot of important cards that I want to keep out there. I do really love the artwork on this card though. Moving on to the Red Baron, and this is the only card that I know of that has anything to do with what color key you forge. Personally, I definitely think they should continue to add cards where you will have to decide which key you want to forge because there's some sort of ability that plays around it. This card reads, while your red key is forged, the Red Baron gains Reap Steal 1. While your opponent's red key is forged, the Red Baron gains Elusive. So, this card is pretty cool, but there are a lot of Shadows creatures that can do similar to what this card does. However, I do think it's still really cool that they added this in where it does actually matter what key you do forge. So overall, I would say this is probably one of the better anomalies. However, just like most of the other ones, I don't have this card, so I can't really say anything too specific about it because I've never played with it, but let me know if you guys have it and what you think about it. Moving on to the last anomaly, Timequake, and it is an action card that reads, play, shuffle each friendly card in play into your deck. Draw a card for each card shuffled into your deck this way. This is a pretty cool card, especially if you have something in your battle line that you don't mind putting back into your deck. And also, if you're in a little bit of a situation, you can hopefully pull some cards that you will benefit from. Not to mention, you gain an Ember every time you play this card, so that can also be fun. So the card of the day is going to be Memelith, and this is just because I really believe that this card is probably one of the best anomalies because it just shows the difference in anomalies compared to normal cards because it adds something that hasn't been in the game, which is grafting, and plus you get to do fun things with this card. It's especially cool when you can put a bunch of action cards under this card and then just pick whichever one you want. So overall, this is my favorite anomaly, and I think this is partly just because I have it. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I thank you all for watching very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite anomaly is down in the comments, and also let me know which one's your least favorite because I think some of these aren't as good. So like I said, that's gonna be it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.